Keldon Johnson with the steal and the score, capping the Spurs comeback versus the Suns. Very entertaining finish. They were down 20 at one point, and they stormed back and get the victory on the road. What do you think?
If you're going to only lead for 2 seconds in a basketball game, the last two are the ones you want to lead. Yeah. Shout out to the Spurs pulling this off. I can't believe it because the Suns had a huge lead at the end of the third quarter. 15, 16 points at the end of the third going into the fourth. But then the Spurs went zone, and with no Bradley Beal, no Devin Booker, the Suns were a little bit confused. They had a tough time getting the ball into Kevin Durant. Just when the Spurs were in zone, if it was a man possession, Durant got the ball fairly easily and got to the hoop for an easy bucket most of the time. But I thought it was smart of the Spurs to try and throw them off their rhythm without their two lead perimeter players out there to really generate offense for him, because it was kind of just, can you bail us out, Kevin Durant? A little too much Nurkic for my liking. But yeah, that was pretty impressive the way the Spurs were able to pull this comeback off. And then the last couple of plays were huge. Wemby with the tip dunk to bring it to a 1-point game. And then the trap in the corner. Keldon Johnson getting the steal, kind of just taking it out of Kevin Durant's hands, finishing at the hoop. That was nice. Could have been a foul on Trey Jones, I thought, if you were going to call a foul on anybody. Certainly Frank Vogel wanted one. But end of the game, you can get away with a little bit of stuff, and certainly the Spurs did. And they pulled it off. That was cool.
Yeah, for a team to come back from that much and get the victory without leading any of the game until the final seconds, like you said, you need the team you come back against to make some dumb mistakes. And I thought within the final 5 minutes, Phoenix made some just boneheaded plays that really bit them in the ass. The first one was Nurkic just dropping the post-entry pass to him at one point. It just slipped out of his hands. They get the jump ball, so you're like, okay, well, maybe he could win this, and maybe they can sort of save the possession. Instead, the exact opposite happens. Zach Collins with a great tip ahead to Keldon Johnson, who scores on the fast break.
It was like an outlet pass.
2 points right there. 3:20 left. KD, they get a stop, and they're on the fast break, and I thought he threw a brutal pass at the feet of Okogie, and it was in traffic. Now, Josh sort of manages to keep possession. He goes up underneath the hoop. He sort of gets strip blocked, still keeps the ball, and it ends in a Nurkic three-point attempt that he missed. I mean, he was sort of feeling it. He had hit a couple.
He hit two.
But not a great possession overall. And I mean, you just look back at that one like, ooh, either they should have scored in transition. It was just a bad pass, I thought. And again, KD sort of threw it in too much traffic. 2 minutes left. Wemby is running out of shot clock. I don't know if you remember this one. He gives an absolute grenade to Jones in the paint.
Yeah.
And like, it was not really going to be a shot attempt, I don't think. I don't even think he was going to get it up. Maybe he didn't even know with the shot clock there on the floor. And instead he gets fouled. And it was like, oh, what are you doing? He goes to the line, hits both of them. It's a 3-point game. And then you said already the ending there. I mean, what they give up Wemby, I know he's a tough guy to obviously keep off the glass, but easy putback dunk for him. Cuts it to 1. And then they did the smart move where they trapped KD. Yeah, there's some contact. He thought he was getting fouled. He thought the whistle was coming. Keldon just says, give me that, and scores inside. So, 3 or 4 really just dumb mistakes that helped the Suns sort of hand this one over to the Spurs.
Yeah, the Suns fairly, I think, thought they were home free after this one. But once you get thrown out of the rhythm and the other team is able to get into a rhythm, sometimes it's hard to turn off that water. And I thought the Spurs did a really good job of when they got stops, they ran it back the other way. The transition game was pretty solid for San Antonio last night. They oftentimes are playing without a facilitator out there, often going with a bunch of 5 bigger dudes. Sohan will be the point guard, so scoring in transition can be a way to generate some pretty easy offense for a team that doesn't always know what they're trying to do. Like on the Wemby tip dunk, that was a botched play, but he just happened to be out on the wing. Nobody had found him, and then he's obviously 7'5", so once the ball is up hanging there, he was the first one to get to it. So good on him to just keep at it.